Hey guys, what's up? It's Colton from Burnt Toast. Houston Regionals went great. It was my first tournament to play. I feel like I did really well. I had some tough matchups. I played Speed Lugia. I realized that wasn't the best choice for this season. I'm kind of going a new route with what I'm going to play this year. But it was a great experience. If you've never been to a tournament, you need to go because being surrounded by so much Pokemon is the coolest thing ever. We got to meet Jason Kozansky, also Ross Cawthorn, the master of Blastoise. So it was a very awesome event, and it has caused me to decide to play this deck. This is the deck that I'm going to most likely use the rest of the this season. It's Yveltal, Seismitoad, Garbodor. I call it Trollin' Toad, like the website where you can order cards. So let's take a look at it. If you guys don't know, Seismitoad is the new guy that has come out in Furious Fist, and he has an attack called Quaking Punch. For 2 colorless energy, it does 30 damage, but that's not really what we're interested in. We're interested in your opponent can't play any items from his or her hand during his or her next turn. So you do a little bit of damage and you lock off their items. It's actually, I think it's fantastic. It works very well. We match it up with Garbodor, with Garbotoxin. If this Pokemon has a tool card attached to it, each Pokemon in play in each other's hand and in each other's discard pile has no abilities. So that means they have no items and no abilities. And like you see in this deck, this is the only ability we have. You could use Darkrai, but I don't like... I've tried it with Darkrai and I don't like it. It doesn't work real well because it takes up bench space, and I mean you lock off his ability anyways. So I run a little bit. I run 3 switch in this deck. Being able to switch around is very important. We also pair this with Yveltal EX. Y Cyclone is an incredible attack paired with Seismitoad. If it's a mirror match and you've got the advantage, Y Cyclone the energy off, and Evo Ball is not going to do as much to you next turn. So it helps a lot with not being hit for one hit knockouts, which is the reason that I actually use Max Potion in this deck. The energy actually with Y Cyclone, you can move it around very easily. So if I can heal 150 damage off of an Yveltal and discard a Darkness energy, it's fine with me. Because there's situations like that a Clutch Lysander could change the game in your opponent's favor. So Max Potion is, I feel like, fits in this deck, at least the way that I run it. And the other Pokemon we have is Yveltal, just the basic Yveltal. Oblivion Wing does 30. Attach a Darkness Energy from your discard pile to one of your opponent's bench, or one of your benched Pokemon, and 2 Darkness and a colorless. Darkness Blade does 100 damage. Flip a coin. If tails, this Pokemon can't attack during your opponent's next turn. So Darkness Blade can, I mean, it's not really a big deal if you have Garbodor set up, but in situations where Garbodor is not set up, you can one-shot a Sigilif. Sigilif Donphan has become a very popular and strong deck that's in the format right now, and I saw a lot of it at Houston Regionals. One of my losses was to that deck, and the guy who played that deck, I think, came in 6th out of the tournament. There are 294 masters in our tournament, so Donphan, Sigilif, and Friends has become a big deal, and I mean, Yveltal is also, it makes your opponent have to take 7 prizes if you're in that situation. I mean, they knock out 2 EXs, yeah, they've taken 4 prizes. If you throw up an Yveltal, a regular one, they've got to take that prize plus another EX. So it makes it a little harder. It's not just 3 EX knockouts. It really can be a game changer. For our items, we got 2 Bicycle. Draw cards until you have 4 in your hand. Our A spec is a dowsing machine. Discard 2 cards from your hand, put a trainer from your discard pile into your hand. The reason I like dowsing machine is because I only use 1 Lysander in this deck. Lately I've been using 2, but I've decided to only use 1, and if you have to discard it early on, like a late game clutch Lysander could change everything. Also, like a late max potion could be complete, turnaround in how the deck's going, the game's going. So I really like having dowsing machine because there are a lot of situations where we discard a lot. We run this with laser bank. We got hypnotoxic laser. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is also asleep. So we run 4 hypnotoxic laser, 2 max potions, heal all damage from one of your Pokemon, then discard all energy attached to that Pokemon. I've already explained kind of my game plan with that. 1 Professor's Letter. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Shuffle afterwards. We have 1 Startling Megaphone. Honestly, there's not many abilities. I mean, I don't know. The main reason I'm using Startling Megaphone is because of G-Booster. Other than that, Visiting Genesect is terrible with Seismitoad because it stomps all over Seismitoad. So having Startling Megaphone in the deck, just a 1 of, I think is worth running and that for that matchup. But I mean, honestly, in that case, you don't have to use Seismitoad. It's not a priority. So whatever. We got 3 switch. Switch your active Pokemon with one of your benched. The reason for so many switches, I mean, people a lot of times use 2. I've got 3 and 2 float stones along with dowsing machine, so it's like 6 switch cards there. Is because Seismitoad EX has a retreat cost of 3, and he never really has anything more than 2 energy attached to him. So being able to switch and knowing when to use Yveltal and when to use Seismitoad is a big deal. Then we have 4 Ultra Ball. Discard 2 cards from your hand. Search your deck for a Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Level Ball, I mean, it's not a big deal anymore, at least for this deck, because Trubbish is the only thing we'd get with it. But since there's not so many search Pokeballs out there anymore, running 4 Ultra Ball is very common, and I don't know any decks that I wouldn't run 4 Ultra Ball. So we've got 4 of those. Our other items, we've got 2 Floatstone. The Pokemon this is attached to has no retreat cost, and we have 3 Muscle Band. The attacks of this Pokemon, this card are attached to do 20 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So we have our tool cards to attach to Garbodor to have that ability work. We got a total of 5 tool cards. I think that's plenty. For our supporters, not a whole lot of draw support. I mean, we have bicycles, but we got 1 Colress. Shuffle your hand in your deck, then draw for the number of cards equal to benched, both yours and your opponent's. We have 1 Lysander. Switch your opponent's bench Pokemon with his or her active. 4 in. Each player shovels his or her hand into their deck and then draws for the number of their remaining prize cards. And we have 4 Professor Juniper. There's the more beautiful one. Discard your hand and draw 7. And then we also have 3 Skyla. Search your deck for a trainer card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your deck afterwards. So that's our supporters. It works really well for me, and I feel like that's a good setup for supporters. I mean, you could argue running an extra Lysander if you don't want to use max potions. There's other ways to do this. And our stadiums, we have 1 Shadow Circle. The reason for this is because in Donphan and Friends, that deck, it is paired with Zekrom with Outrage a lot. And there's a lot of lightning type Pokemon that can hit Yveltal very hard. So it's nice to have Shadow Circle when they can't hit you for weakness. It makes one-hit knockouts a lot more difficult on Yveltal. So I think a 1 of is a good choice. And then 2 Vermic City Gym. Put 2 more damage counters on poison Pokemon between turns. And lastly, our energy, 4 double colorless. It provides 2 colorless energy and 7 dark energy. So this is the deck. We're going to play a game with it, and that'll be fun. So there it is, Troll and Toad. Alright. Let's see what we're playing against. My roommate's texting me about pizza. Oh, look. That looks like Donphan Sigilif. So, yeah, it looks like we have a good first hand. In is exactly what I wanted. I did not want to discard all of that, but I would have if it was necessary. So we are seeing Donphan. We could possibly, and I actually think I'm going to go for this because, alright, let's think about it. We need a Verbank, a Seismitoad, and double colorless, or a Muscle Band. Do we play it smart, or do we go for the win? What do we do? It's a great question. We're going to go for the win. First turn. Let's get it. Let's do this. We got none of those things. Oh. Okay. Whatever. So we're going to attach the Darkness, Retreat, Muscle Band onto the Yveltal, and we're going to bring back a Darkness Energy onto the Yveltal EX. It was worth a shot. Probably wasn't the greatest choice, because we did discard an N and a Juniper and a Max Potion and a double colorless from that, but it was, I feel like it was worth the chance. Double colorless comes down on Fampy. And a Colress for 2. 2 cards. Any 2. And we're going to see a Tackle for 10 damage because of resistance. That Fampy will go down between turns. We're going to Ultra Ball. Don't necessarily like doing this. We go for Seismitoad. That's 2 double colorless already in the discard. I would go for Trubbish. I'm going to go for Seismitoad. Seismitoad can do damage, hit for weakness. We're going to get out our Seismitoad, get him ready, and Oblivion Wing for the knockout. No energies attached to our bench, and we take a prize, being Shadow Circle. And our opponent's left with 3 cards: Fighting Stadium and Professor Juniper. Discarding Floatstone. We see Keldeo, Donphan, No Fun, Strong Energy. For 60, because of resistance, Keldeo's brought to the active, and we have a Floatstone. So, do we start Quaking Punch? Don't sound like a terrible idea. That is what we're going to do. They don't have a Floatstone. They can't play a Switch. Honestly, they're kind of stuck now. No, not even if another Keldeo is brought in, will that be able to change the situation. So we might be able to just Quaking Punch until Lysander. Alright. And turn ended. So We're going to play that Shadow Circle. Colress for 3. Muscle Band onto, let's see, we're going to put the Muscle Band on the Yveltal, and Bicycle for 3. Yveltal, double colorless. Question now is, do we retreat and keep Quaking Punch? How much energy do we have in discard? More than I like. We can always Oblivion Wing and energy back into play. We'd have 4 of the 11 in the discard. I feel like Quaking Punch is the right option because it leaves our opponent stuck. I mean, they had to play a Lysander just to get around that. Another Lysander would be no fun. We're gonna Evil Ball. I'm afraid of another Lysander, possibly Juniper. Yeah, see, another Lysander. So we would have discarded energy for nothing, is what I feel like would have happened. I still don't see any switching cards, so hopefully that's not going to happen this turn, and it doesn't. So we're going to play that Verbank, Muscle Band onto Seismitoad, and in for fresh new 5. Get our Trubbish, and we will let's look at this. Yeah, we're going to Evil Ball for the knockout. Take 2 prizes. Get a double colorless and a darkness. So 2 that we know of. 2 of the 11 were prized. I'm very glad we did not retreat into Seismitoad earlier. That wouldn't have been any fun at all. But next turn, even if they go into the Sigilif, as long as an N is not played here, we can set up our Garbodor. We'll have to discard just about everything in our hand to ensure that, and end with a Juniper. So I think that's the best option, though. So our opponent's taking their time. Not sure if we're going to see a wreck. We see a Lysander for the Trubbish. So everything's changed. 3 Lysanders. That's 3. That's more than I've ever seen used in a deck. But here, do they wreck it? Or are they spinning turn? Spinning turn. And go into the Curum. What to promote? Promote the Yveltal with the Floatstone. Okay. Again, they don't have any switching cards. So Seismitoad could be a great option here. We're going to put that double colorless on the Yveltal. We're going to Ultra Ball. That's a tough choice. Do we Ultra Ball for a Trubbish, or do we Dowsing Machine? Because we're going to discard it anyways. I don't exactly like this situation. We are going to Dowsing Machine for we gonna get? What is a good option here? 7 on the field. Don't want to get rid of the darkness. Don't want out to discard my energy. So I am going to grab a Colress. Don't know if you think that's a good idea or not, but it gave me a fresh hand. Seismitoad. Discard Ultra Ball, and a switch. And we're going to get our other Trubbish out. We're going to retreat and Quaking Punch for 50. So a Lysander, I guess, or I don't know. I don't know how they're going to get out of the active slot. We'll see. We'll see what happens. 3 Lysanders kind of thrown me off. I'm still baffled by that. An N, 2, 3. Still, that's a way better hand, better supporter, better everything. That's great. Alright, so we're going to get hit with Outrage. That's outrageous. Haha. I'm going to get that Darkness onto Yveltal. We've got, here's the problem, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of our tools are gone. Our opponent has played a Startling Megaphone, but another one would be terrible. So we are going to Juniper. I'm not going to try to get out that my other tool that's left. Didn't seem like it was a great idea. So we will not use Hypnotoxic Laser. It did 80 to us already. Oh, what to do. They're going to score a knockout on us next turn no matter what. So we're going to go ahead and poison them. And they will go to sleep. So Quaking Punch for 50. Poison brings them down to 70 HP, and they stay asleep. So there's no way to switch out. There's nothing they can do. That sleep was a big, big deal. That could have been a game changer. Although we're ahead in prizes, we're low in energy, so it is nice to have a coin flip go in our direction. That is good. We have 9 cards left in our deck. Our opponent is taking their time. See what happens. Darkness goes to Kurum and Ashana for 5. Our opponent has 17 cards in their deck and discard. Little interesting fact. Where are we going to put this? I'm actually going to go ahead and start attaching to the Yveltal in case if Sigilif comes active, makes our life real hard. Alright, I don't feel like a muscle band is going to change absolutely anything right now. But you never know. Let's see, what can we do? We're going to Skyla for not a switch. So it is not there. Let's see, what all is in our deck? Yveltal, Garbodor. Not much left at all. We'll grab our laser. Play the megaphone. There's no switch left, so we not going to use max potion. My game plan was to switch into an Yveltal, max potion the Seismitoad, and Y cyclone for the knockout, and move the energy back to the Seismitoad. But that option didn't bring itself forward, so we're going to Quaking Punch for 50, poison between turns. We'll bring it down to 0 health left, and we're going to take 2 prizes, a Skyla and a laser. So there's no switching cards left in our deck. Donphan is definitely going to score that knockout, but I can't see Sigil if brought active. If we do, Darkness Blade for 100, that's game. We don't have any tools left. No other tools prized. That is a float stone, I think. 1, 2, 3. Muscle band. Float stone. No, that's a muscle band. That's what that is. Our opponent's still taking their time. I think they're trying to decide which attack they should use here. Spinning turn or wreck. Wreck is a for sure knockout. Spinning turn is going to do 40, 60, 80. And not be quite enough for that knockout. So Sigilif is brought active. We're going to poison it. Attach our darkness energy. And we're just going to wait until Seismitoad dies to take action. We're going to keep them from playing items still. So Sigilif stays asleep, no items. It would be nice to have Garbodor set up, but that didn't work out this game. Trebush was taken down. It was really upsetting. We had everything ready, but that was taken from us. Let's see, Professor Juniper. He's going to get our opponent down to 8 cards. 8 left in the deck. Fighting energy. We have no energy left, so we can't retreat our Seismitoad. There's not a whole lot left we can do, so just kind of wait. Pretty sure we don't have any energy left. Yeah, we don't. What is left? Lysander. Okay. So, in this case, we Quaking Punch. And I can't play items. 30 damage on Sigilif. It's going to retreat next turn anyways. Got 1 retreat cost. But once Seismitoad dies, we have our backfield ready to kind of take on whatever. So we do see Donphan brought active. They're going to score that knockout. And we will promote the Yveltal. Juniper is given to us. Let's look at this. We can do 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 130. We're going to Skyla for our Lysander. I feel like we should have done that a few turns ago just to have it in hand. But let's see. They can score a knockout on us. We can be hit by any Yveltal. What do we do? What do we do? We can afford to give up 2 more prizes. That's not a huge problem. We are going to go ahead and Hypnotoxic Laser. We're going to go ahead and do some damage to that. Cure him. So 130. And we'll see what happens next. They do have the use of items this turn, so they're sitting on a switch. There you go. I mean, with Wreck, they can do 80 plus 60. What is that? That's 140, 150, 160, 170, 180. So that is 180. That would be a knockout. Minus resistance, so 160. So it is not a knockout. By Dawn Fan, Outrage can do 30 plus 130. So that's 160. You're falling 10 short each time. Each way I calculate the damage done. If they hit a muscle band, that is a knockout. There's a few things that could happen. This has been a long game, so we do see Karina. Computer search. And what next? Outrage for 160, and then we will just, alright, that's game. All we had to do is attack. We won. I didn't use max potion this game. There's times when I don't use it. It doesn't seem necessary. There's a lot of thinking that goes on with this deck. But thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, Colton from Burnt Toast. Subscribe and play Pokemon. Enjoy!